What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. We are back after a weekend off. I'm your host, Graham Powell. That's co-host Michelle Zangulis over there. Say what's up, Michelle.
What's up, Michelle?
Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Ladies and gents, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. Sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on X at TR Don't Last. And what else am I missing? We're TikToking, we're Instagramming.
Yep, those are the other two.
Well, you run those, so.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give the people the handle. Where can they
It's
find
the
us?
same thing. It's TR Don't Last.
Okay, well, prepare better when I decide to do this intro next time.
We have the same handle on everything.
All right, so again, middle of the day. So if you're watching us on Spotify and YouTube, please bear with me on the glare in the background. I'll do something about that eventually. But we took last weekend off. It was Mother's Day weekend. I was out of town. I was in Northwest Arkansas pacing a race, another Bodies Racing Company race. It was the hometown half marathon. It was my second, number 2 hometown half marathon to pace. And I got a different shirt. I'm rocking the blue here.
The blue is so much better than the yellow.
It's still a baseball tee. It just depends on what you like. I like yellow. I liked it that it was different, and I was hoping going into it that I would have options as far as a different color, because I don't need the same color t-shirt. I don't need 2 of them. So when I got there, me and my brother, of course, the Pacers have to get there at 6 a.m. They have to get there an hour before the race start to both kind of just gather together, see, make sure everybody's there, get your sign, get your group photo, all that stuff. And then obviously get our race packet and all that. So my brother and I get there, my brother Ben, and go up. They register as they plug our bib number in as we're checking in, and they said, "All right, what size shirt?" I tell them, and they said, "Okay, I got what color?" And I was like, "Yes, I got a different option." So it was, I think they just had, no, I think they had yellow, red, and blue. For whatever reason, I was in a blue mood because red is my favorite color. So you may be a little surprised I decided to go with blue. I don't know, the blue looked good. I like blue. I said, yeah, I want the blue. Didn't even think about it. I wanted the blue. Good choice, I think. I dig it. Again, for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube.
It looks good. I do like the blue. I was surprised that you didn't get red. But obviously I haven't seen the red, but I definitely like the blue.
Well, it's like this shirt, but it's red.
Thank you so much for clarifying. I was a little confused.
You're welcome. I just wanted to help you out there a little bit. There's Midnight in the background.
Always.
That's Michelle Ford. Nice dog.
He's a dog.
Yes, okay. Great name. Very large animal.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the race itself. The cool thing about these races is this company, it's a traveling race series. They're I guess they're kind of part of their shtick is they try to go on kind of more remote areas of the cities that they're in so that they don't have to get permits and get police involved. I don't know if they have to get permits, but they don't have to get like police involved to block off streets and things like that. So they basically just find a good spot in the town that they're going to, and then they mark the trail accordingly. This isn't their first time in Fayetteville. Body's racing company just started coming to Arkansas this year. So it is their first year doing this in the state of Arkansas. But this wasn't their first time in Fayetteville. My brother and the other pacers there said going into this that this course ran long, so I didn't know what to expect. And in fact, it was two loops. It was at Veterans Memorial Park in Fayetteville, and the half marathon was two loops. So there's a turnaround at a certain point, and then you come back, and then you just turn back around and you do it again. So that's what I mean by two loops. And so we do the first one, and for whatever reason, like I was drinking a lot of water going into it, and I for whatever reason I had to pee a lot that day. I think also I knew that I was pacing a pretty slow group for me. It's like not saying people that run this are slow, but it's slow for me. I was pacing the 2:30 group, which my PR last month, I set last month at the Hog Eye was 151 and change, 150, 140, I believe. So 2:30 was pretty slow for me. And so I went into it pretty loose, knowing like, hey, I'm gonna have to like work to slow down. Which I talked about this last week. I it's dumb when I hear pacers running faster than the time that they're pacing and say, I just can't run that slow. Like, yeah, you can. You can literally slow down. You can't not be able to run faster, but you can always slow down. But that was that was a little bit of a challenge, but not too much so. Mostly the challenge part was staying like interested. Like normally I can wake up earlier, like at a race, because I was like, oh, by mile or by the first quarter mile, I'm booking it and I'm awake. It took me a good like 6 miles to really kind of wake up at this race. I mean, I was just kind of in like zombie mode, and I didn't have anybody running with me. It was I had multiple people tell me on the first turnaround that hey, I'm trying to catch up with you. I was like, please do, or you're almost. I think I said, like you're almost there. You don't have, just your generic pep talk. But nobody caught up with me, so I ran by myself the entire time. I passed by my brother a couple of times. He was facing the 220 group. He had somebody running with him. And the thing about when you're going that slow, I had to find a way to keep my mind occupied and stay interested. Not that I wasn't interested. I just had to, you get in a certain zone and you're just kind of going through the motions a little bit. So I just had to do things to keep myself interested. Like I was doing like I don't know if you don't know who VJ Singh is. He was a golfer who after every putt he would do like a fencing sword thing with the putter. I was doing things like that. Um I was playing like it was a lightsaber, doing the lightsaber moves when it was like the episode 1 through 3 in Star Wars, where it's pretty intense, like a choreography with the lightsaber. Of course, it was very terrible, but I was just trying to find a way to keep myself occupied. I would smack the leaves a little bit on the branch because it was on the bike trail in Fayetteville, like the whole thing. So it was a beautiful course. There's just nothing but trees and fields, and it was scenic wise pretty tough to beat. But I would do that, not smack them hard or anything. I didn't want to break the sign, but just tap them and things like that, and just try to do little things to keep myself interested. Midnight's wanting attention over there.
He is, but I had a question. Did you also make lightsaber noises?
Did not.
Ugh,
I did not.
missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it took me to mile 6 to warm up, or to excuse me to wake up.
Yeah.
Uh, but it was a good time. Still had fun. Was done by 9:30 a.m. ended up having a pretty good weekend. I'm trying to look up my official time. Of course, I got to go through my phone, and the stuff that's on my phone, it's stuff that you would probably expect to see on my phone because I can be a weirdo at times. One
At
was a guy in a gimp mask eating a taco.
I'm sure our listeners really needed to know that.
Well, and then there's of course the Alan Jackson filter of me on Snapchat that I sent you. So I'm scrolling through all this just to try and find my time. Okay, there it is. All right, so I was the 2:30 group. My Strava time was 2:29:39. So
Close.
yeah, you want to be within that minute range, but I try to get to close to like 10 seconds, but you never want to go over. So you're always pushing it when you get that close.
Yeah.
And my watch actually, like I have a Garmin, and the time and everything and distance went away at some point. I don't know why it did, but I was wearing a long sleeve because it was cool. It was cool that morning. Plus, that's the only pacing shirt I have is a long sleeve shirt. And I don't even know if I should get a short sleeve because all these races are, either late fall or early spring and winter even. So I don't even know if I should bother getting a short sleeve. Maybe should. I don't know. Another topic. But anyway, I was thinking the sleeve had screwed it up, and hit it and it just went away. My sleeves have done that before on other things like races, things like that. So I was like, oh no, well, just got to do my best. I was like, I guess I'll just try and stick with this pace and just do the best I can. But it eventually came back. I don't know what happened, but it came back. I had a mild freak out there for a moment, but it did. It came back, and I don't know, finished and did my job. Ran it alone, but sometimes really, if you're doing your job, you're always going to finish alone, even if you have people with you the whole time, because you tell them at the end, all right, go give it all you got. Either at the end or the last mile, things like that, just whatever they're comfortable with. It's never a competition when you're a pacer. The only competition is you're trying to get to as close to that time as you can without going over. So 20 seconds, I'm good with. I'd like to get it closer to that, but you're always pushing it, especially on an unfamiliar course. That was, what did my distance say? I just had it pulled up. Like I said, it was long. Yeah, I had 13.71 miles.
So almost 14.
Really about, and that was what my brother and them said. Like it ran about a half mile or more long. I think he even said he was at like 14 the last time or close to it. But so there was a guy that, like, the people that paced it, I think had done the last one too, around in March. And um on the first, they were asking beforehand. They were saying it was long and talking about basically just if it's at a certain turnaround to go around, just go ahead and come back, just to not mess things up. But at that point, I had already found my groove because it was actually worked out for me a little bit that it was long because I was going too fast early, and I realized that. But the mile marker, my watch would tell me 1 mile, and I was, a minute or 90 seconds too fast. But then when I would see the first mile marker on the course, I was like 5 or 6 seconds over. So I realized I'm just going to go by what's on the course. So I paid attention to that, and it actually kind of benefited me that it was a little bit long. So I didn't have to, shave too much off of that. I don't know if that made sense. I got a notification on my phone. I had somebody accepted a friend request from me on Facebook, and I know it happened. It was one of those things like where it'll have like friend suggestions. it was too close to like the home button, and I accidentally hit a friend request, and somebody just accepted it.
Why,
So
why didn't you cancel the request?
because it was one of the I thought about it, but then it was like you're still going to get the notification. Like that person's still going to get the notification, and then they're going to be like, oh, I guess they changed their mind. I guess they don't like me, which I don't like or dislike this, or I don't dislike this person. She's in my running club, and you know what I mean. Like it just felt like it would have been weird to cancel it.
Oh, I guess.
But I've never said a word to her. I've just passed by her in races, and she was in a group of people that were talking that I do know that we both knew.
Well, now you're Facebook friends. Maybe you
Now
can
we're
be
Facebook,
real life friends.
I guess, because that's what that means, right?
Yeah.
She seems very nice and very cool. Like I said, a big part of my running club, so maybe I should be. But it was an accident. I was, I, I just because I was like, it said cancel request, or it said cancel. I was like, what? Why does it say cancel? I didn't add this person, and I was like, oh, I guess I did. And then
Yeah,
I
you
figured
did.
out how I was able to do, or how I did it.
You know,
So bonus life material here on the show.
I can't say that I've accidentally sent a friend request, but I have like accidentally liked Instagram pictures from long ago when I'm creeping on other people's profiles. And I've on TikTok, it's very easy to like accidentally follow. If you go to like a video, you might accidentally hit like the plus and start following them. And I'll go back in and unfollow though. But I can't say I've done that on Facebook.
That's the first time I've ever accidentally sent one, where it was like truly an accident.
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't know. But at the same, it's like you said, I could have canceled it immediately, but I've had that before. I've had somebody that was like in a situation like that, like a friend of a friend add me, and then I go to like either can look at it or confirm it, and then it's gone. So I was like, oh, I guess they canceled it. So
Yeah.
maybe I guess I just didn't want to do that.
I mean, it's your life. You can do what you want.
I obviously just said, all right, I'll just leave it alone, I guess. Oh, all right. So now we're Facebook friends. All right. So I my running schedule. We've got a bit of a break from the Grand Prix. The next race is June 1st in Batesville, a 4 miler. So my plan was to take about a week off, heal up my ankle and all that. I didn't do that. I think I took one day off from running that week. My idea was, hey, let's get better. But it was, I don't know. I've slacked the last week or two, I would say. Now I got in, I think one run. I might have gotten 2 runs in last week. I honestly can't remember. I try to get 2 runs in during the week and then one on the weekend. Like that's usually a race. That's how I do it. My schedule's too packed to be able to run every day. And I mean, we got life. Like life, we're all busy. We're Americans in 2024. We got a lot going on. All right. So I said I'm going to get 2 days. I incorporate basically my, okay, yeah, okay. Last week I had one run. And then I said, okay, I'm running a half marathon Saturday. So that kind of makes up for it. That's how I viewed it anyway, or did mental gymnastics to make it okay. This week I said, I'm going to run. I didn't run Wednesday. Of course, I told you why. Just so that I didn't run Wednesday. I said, I'll run Thursday and Friday. So I ran Thursday and had a good run in. I love this time of year to run, by the way, because I sweat my butt off, and it just feels like a cleanse every time I go and run. You're shaking your head and making faces, but we're a podcast, so you got to tell us what's on your mind. doesn't say
You
that.
were still talking. It is miserable. We are now in the miserable part of the year, and we will be here until September. It is hot. It is muggy. I'll sweat just walking to my car, like at work. It's terrible. I'm not going outside and running in this. And the
I
fact that
sweat
you,
getting I sweat getting out of the shower.
yeah, like the fact that you love it. No.
No, I love to run in it. I love to exercise in it. I don't love it like in general. If I'm just trying to be comfortable, I mean, it's set. I got the thermostat at 70 here in my place. I'm trying to be comfortable. And I told you for the show, I didn't want to wear this shirt because I was sweaty and clammy. I didn't want to put it on and ruin it, which I feel comfortable now. But yeah, it just was. I don't mind running in it, like because you're out there sweating anyway. Like you're out there to sweat your butt off anyway, so you might as well like go all in on it.
I guess.
And it does. It is good for you to sweat out all that crap that put in your body. Not that I'm an unhealthy eater or anything like that, but I like my beer. I like my wine in moderation, but it's still not a good thing. You still want to get it. Still need to get that out of you. I had a Diet Pepsi last night.
I miss
Why'd you put
soda.
that place? What?
I miss soda. I miss all of the beverages that aren't water.
Um, but well, it's I don't know. I get in a mood for it sometimes. I have two prime energy drinks that have been sitting in my fridge for 2+ months now. I think it's been two months because I was saying, hey, I want to try this, but I drink coffee in the morning, so I really don't need more caffeine than that. And I just said I'll have it on one of these podcast days when I need an extra boost of energy or something like that. But then I looked at how much caffeine was in it. It's like 200 milligrams. I was like, I don't need that much caffeine.
Yeah, it's best to like take in the morning, like drink it in the morning. I'm not an energy drink person. I would rather have coffee in the morning too. I've had a couple of energy drinks like with law school because just absolutely tired, but still have to sit through 4 hours of classes after working 8 hours. Um, but I probably in the last year I've had three energy drinks, maybe.
I don't know that I've had one. I did like I said, I don't. I just mainly just wanted to try it, and for whatever reason, I decided to get two of them. And it was Prime Energy drinks. I heard a lot about them. Um, I don't know. Just wanted to. I know the kids are drinking that apparently.
That and Celsius. I have had a Celsius. I haven't had a Prime. I think the guys go for Prime and the girls go for Celsius. But I know a lot of guys who drink Celsius too.
I don't even know what Celsius is.
It's an energy drink.
Well, yeah, I'm more of a coffee guy than an energy drink person. I don't know. I got in a weird mood, and I didn't get in the soda mood until I was in the checkout line last night at Walmart. I was just getting dog food, but I should have got coffee creamer while I was there. But I got dog food and something else, and I was like, hey, I don't know. I was wanting a diet. I was actually wanting a Pepsi Zero, but just like one of them. A can would have been great, but you're just going for a 20-ounce bottle when you're at the checkout line. I looked around, I was like, I don't see it. And I saw a Pepsi thing over there. I was like, hang on a sec. And I just got it. And I was like, he said, you need your fix? And I was like, apparently, I don't know. I get in the mood for this sometimes. There's Michelle's cat, massive cat, now making an appearance.
Yep. He had been napping. I was hoping he stayed asleep, but he had to make an appearance, and it's only a matter of time until he attacks.
Well, we're talking about some pretty interesting stuff on here on the Tough Runs in the last podcast.
Yeah,
Not necessarily all things running. We're sprinkling life in as well.
absolutely.
Okay, so I completely danced around my workout or how I've been slacking running. I mentioned what I did last week. Now, This week I did not run Friday. My plan was to run Friday night when I got home, and this is what sidetracked me. I went as I was finishing up my shift. I was taking like my trash out, and then I saw this like rolling Chester drawers or chest of drawers. I say Chester drawers 'cause I'm from the South, and it was kind of perfect. It was like nightstand size, a little bigger, but it wasn't a full thing of a full chest. It could fit in my car. So I said, well, I do need an extra thing to put things in. And they were just going to throw it away. It was sitting outside at work and it was just going to be thrown away. And I looked, I was like, clean this thing up and take it home and use it. So it was filthy. It was clearly sitting in probably the kitchen office. I work at a hospital for anyone wondering about my day job. Uh, and I say that because there were like one of the drawers was dedicated to condiments. You could tell, like packaged condiments. There was seasoning like that had been, they you get the paper ones, you tear it off and then you sprinkle it. You could tell uh, that had broken or had been torn off, and there was seasoning and condiment crap all over it, and on the inside of that one. That was really the only just really dirty one. But but the outside of it was pretty dirty too, and I had to clean the crap out of it, and I just did it there because I had all the equipment there, and that took a while. It took a long time to actually clean and dry and like get in my car. And by the time I got home, it was 9 o'clock. So I said, "Yeah, I could go run, but I really didn't want to. I was tired, and I knew I was mowing all weekend. Like as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna go mow like my friend's yard. I do my yard and my friend's yard. So I'm doing both of them this weekend so I can get back on that 1 yard a weekend track. Like I'll do mine again next weekend, and then I'll do theirs, in 2 weeks. So that was why. That's my reason for slacking is because I decided I needed furniture in my place. More furniture. Is that furniture? Does that count as furniture?
It counts as furniture. I mean, even if you're gonna use it just as like a table, like an end table or something, a table is furniture. That counts.
Well, you've seen my place. I've got it in my living room, kind of, or between my TV and my front door. That was the only spot it worked because it's too big to go. It's too wide to go in the bedroom. I got enough stuff here in the spare room, the podcast room slash trophy room, whatever I'm calling it. And I tried to put it in certain parts of the living room, and it's tall enough that it kind of gets in the way of the TV a little bit if you get it too close. I think it works where it's at. It's the only spot it works. Right now, it doesn't have anything in it because I'm letting it really dry for a couple of days. So
Probably a good
I
idea.
I clean the heck out of it. I mean, there were simple. There's a room where we clean wheelchairs. I took the drawer, like it's like plastic bins you pull out, and like you can pull the drawers out, but it's plastic bins that sit in them. So I pulled them out, and like they had some simple green in there. I sprayed it down, and they have a spray like a power washer to spray the wheelchairs. So I just power washed them essentially, but it's super clean now. Like I mean, it is very sanitized.
I feel like anything you get from a hospital needs to be like sanitized before you bring it into your home. It's just a good rule of thumb.
Well, this one really did, especially since it was in the kitchen, which is it's probably, I say that, I don't know for sure it was in the kitchen, but it's probably not, it's probably not a good thing when I'm talking about one of the dirtier places in the hospital is the kitchen,
Yeah.
but they sometimes make good food. When this one lady makes it, she does it on like Tuesdays and Mondays and Tuesdays, something like that. When she makes it, it's really good. After that, it's hit or miss.
Mm.
I don't eat in the cafeteria there anymore, but I did for first couple years work there maybe,
Yeah.
and then it was hit or miss. All right, we're going way off topic now. Point is, I didn't run Friday because I decided to get more furniture and sanitize the heck out of it before I took it home, especially before I put it in my car. But I did mow yesterday. Gonna mow today. I've sweat my butt off yesterday. Gonna do the same today. So point is, life happens. So you're gonna have weeks where you're not on top of your fitness routine or meeting your fitness goals every single week. I don't know, life happens. So it's not always gonna happen, but point is you can try to make up for it next week or just do something like today, mowing. So I burn plenty of calories doing that, especially this time of year here in Central Arkansas.
Yeah. I don't mow. Um,
Well, I think you sent me a picture. I'm thinking she didn't even mow that. That was my first thought. She didn't even mow that. She's posting it like it's or not posting it, but sending it to me like, "Hey, look what I did." That was how I took it.
I never said, look what I did.
I
It's
know, but that's how I took it.
it's like, look at my beautiful yard. Um, so
It
it's
was
great.
nice. It was nice, but I don't know how to put it. Um, but I don't. It's kind of like when you. No, it's not. I was gonna say like it's when you go to a restaurant and show off your food. And it's like, and I wanted to say, yeah, but you didn't make that. But then again, it's like, I mean, look at how good I'm eating. So it's not the same. I can't find a good comparison right now. I just found it funny. You said like, hey, look at my fresh cut grass. And I was like, well, she didn't even know that.
I didn't and I won't. But that is one of the things that I just feel is better to pay someone to do for my mental health. Mowing, even growing up, like I never wanted to mow the grass. That has never been something I've ever wanted to do. And so when I bought a house, I bought a mower. I own a lawn mower. And I have a weed eater and
Push mower.
what?
You have a push mower.
I do. I
It's
do.
electric.
It is electric. Because I didn't want to keep like gas around. I didn't want to have to worry about that. So I got an electric one and it's great. Like when I do have to mow my grass, it's wonderful. Because my lawn guy, he starts mowing like usually in April and he'll mow until October. Um, and it's every 2 to 3 weeks, but sometimes I have to mow in March because it gets warm and grass grows. So I've got to break out the electric mower, and it is my least favorite chore. So I'm gonna pay someone else to do that so that I don't have to.
Why did you say for your mental health? Now, I'm pretty sure I know the answer just because you have a fear of mud, which you're the only person I've ever known to have that. So I just assume you just don't want to get dirty. Is that what you mean by mental health or what?
I mean, it stresses me out, and I understand that that's a weird thing.
Why is
But
it stressful?
So I have a wonderful neighborhood. I love most of my neighbors. They are busybodies, which is a good thing on a lot of occasions. But they also all are very particular about how your lawn should look. Um, and I moved in, and when I met one of my neighbors for the first time, the first thing that she said was, "When are you gonna mow?" And I had been here like 2 days. Didn't even have a mower at that point. Like so that neighbor
I
is
wish I
no
lived.
longer here.
All right, continue.
So it's just it's stressful for me trying to, and it's not even like keeping up with the Joneses. I saw a meme yesterday that was like peer pressure as an adult is when your neighbor mows their lawn. Um, and so it's like you now have to mow your lawn or it looks weird. So it's just a lot of stress. So all my neighbors know, they know who mows my grass. They know when he comes, because he does multiple yards around here. So, um, I don't have to worry about it. It's just something that I don't have to ever think about. I know that he's coming, he will be here, and then it's great. It's one less thing on my to-do list.
I wish my neighbor felt like they had to mow every time I mowed. Um, yeah, I get along with people that live next to me, but it's their terrible tenants. I don't care if they see or hear this. The yard always looks awful on their side. You can just look at the yard and tell who's a good tenant and who isn't. But yeah, it's night and day. I sent you pictures of my grass, didn't I?
You did, yes.
That day. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Mm, I mean, it looked pretty good. I'd have to go with, I'm like clicking through them again. Your front yard needs work, and that's not on you. It's just patchy. Um,
I'm talking about the mowing job, not the grass itself.
well, I'm bringing all of it in.
I
Uh,
rent. I'm not putting out sod or
I I said that
American
wasn't on
Bermuda
me.
or something. Or whatever Hank Hill used that Dale ruined. I don't know who that is.
Um, I'm gonna give it a 7.9.
Terrible score.
Well, you asked for my score. That's what I give it.
That's as like close to a 9 as you're gonna get.
I don't know.
There's no I don't know. I mean, it's the weed eating is top notch. Um, yeah, if I go over too fast or the grass is too thick and a blade gets missed, I go back over it. No, that's an A+ job. I'm disagreeing with that score, but I asked, so I mean, you're entitled to say what you want about it, I guess.
I am.
But that's
Exactly.
okay. Excuse me.
I said exactly.
All right. So as far as running goes, I'm going to try to get back to my normal routine next week, my Wednesday and Thursday run. And like I said, I'll end up mowing my yard Saturday and then we'll podcast the following Sunday. So I should be back in my routine next week. We'll see how it goes. Life has been weird for me lately. And I know just going into it, you and I didn't have the best day coming into the show, but it is good to get on here and carry on as usual. Continue the show. I'm not going to let life get in the way of that. But yeah, I plan to get back to my normal running routine next week. And I don't know, I like this time of year to run in. I don't like it to sit outside and be comfortable in, but I like it to run in. You do not, but that's okay. Most runners don't. Most runners prefer it cooler. Now, I'd rather be hot. I feel like I get a better workout in that.
No, thank you. We've talked about that many times, though.
We have on this show even.
Exactly.
I would show off my hometown half marathon medal, my second one, but I mean, it looks the same as the other one. But it was cool to have a second one. I'm not gonna lie, it is on my Instagram, at Instagram Pal, for anyone wondering. But you already know what it looks like if you've seen the show here.
I mean, they are really cool medals. So I definitely recommend going and checking it out. We might repost to our Instagram if we feel like it. We'll see.
If you feel like it, you mean
Yeah.
since you run the Instagram uh,
Yeah.
and the TikTok and all that. Not all that; those are the two things, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't think I have anything left to add. I am pushing it as far as running out of daylight. I think I will be able to finish. I really started mowing yesterday about 4:30. Although my friend's yard's tougher to do because they always have a lot or they have more stuff in their backyard. I like to call it crap. You've seen my backyard. There's nothing back there. And that's by design. I don't need things to mow around. I don't have kids. I have a dog. He goes out there and poops and pees, and he don't even like to go to the back. He likes to go to the front to do all that. So yeah, but I should still finish on time as far as mowing goes. All right, so bonus content today on the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. We talked about running and mowing and just life in general. So you're going to get that with us because there's really only so much running you can talk about, right?
It's very true. And
So
just since you're in your slow season.
it's I mean, it depends on the race. Now, like marathon, half marathon season's over in this part of the country, but but there's still lots of 5Ks and stuff. Um, they actually had the cat smacker um, race. I can't remember what that. I think it's the cat smacker is what they call it, and it's a trail race that is nearly. I think it's like 20 miles, something like that. They had that yesterday, and they have like a half version of it. It's called the Kitty Smacker, which just sounds a little pornographic for me, but that's the name of it. The Kitty Smacker. I think it's like a 12-mile trail race. I knew of it because it was part of the Natural State Running Series last year, and I considered doing it, but it just was. I think I was raced out at that point, and I had done more than enough, and I just kind of wanted a break. Um, so I didn't even take part in it, but I know they had that Saturday, and I had some friends that ran it yesterday. I'll probably do that at some point. I've never done a trail race, so I feel like I should. I've got like a list of things that I want to do, but I go back and forth on. Like I just having my running resume of races, there's certain things I want to cross off. Like trail race is one of them. And you hear about trail runners and they just that's all they talk about. It's like a cult. It's like a borderline cult. I mean, once they start doing that, that's all they want to do ever. So I'd like to at least see what the fuss is about. And I still have that 50 miler in the back of my mind. That my mood on that always changes. It just depends on the day. But maybe one day we'll see. That would be a cool thing to cross off running bucket list. All right, so you like how I was almost signing off and then just decided to talk a little more.
I mean, it happens. You've figured out something else you wanted to talk about.
All right, well, I guess we do need to get out of here now because we both have stuff to do. I assume you have stuff to do. I haven't really asked.
I do. Um, I have to bake some sourdough bread,
Sourdough, right?
chocolate sourdough.
Where'd you even come up with that? I mean, I'm sure you saw it somewhere.
Yeah, it was in a Facebook group that I'm in. Um, and it it involves things that I can actually eat right now. So, we're gonna try it. We'll see what happens.
What's the Facebook group?
Sourdough for beginners.
Okay. Sounds like a good group to be in for somebody that's in your position, I suppose.
Yep. I baked my first loaf of regular sourdough yesterday and trying chocolate today. We'll see how that goes.
You need 2 loaves. What are you doing with all this bread?
Well, I'm from yesterday, I did make 2 loaves. I will keep one for myself and I'm giving one to a friend. And then this chocolate, I'll probably also like cut in half and I'll keep half and give half to a friend.
How are you going to cut it in half? Okay,
Just
I just want to see that.
karate
For
chop.
those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. Okay, I had something and then I lost it. But
Well, that's okay. We need to end the show anyway.
we do. So maybe next week. But anyway, it's good to be back. We'll be back next Sunday with more running talk. Maybe I'll be back in my routine by then. But we'll find out next week. Until then, I'm your host, Grandpa. That's Michelle Zangulis over there. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.